Hey there.
Hello. Okay, we're live. Good evening, everyone. My name is Councilwoman Bilodeau. I am the acting chair tonight of the Labor Education Workforce and Youth Development Committee. Thank you for joining us for this special meeting on December 2nd at 7 p.m. Tonight we have with me Councilman John Gale, who's a voting member, and Councilman Alex Thomas, who also is a voting member. And we have one item on the agenda. That item is Mayor Arulampulam with accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Madison Shaka to be a member of the City of Hartford Board of Education. And we have Maddie with us tonight, so we're going to give the floor to you and have you introduce yourself and tell us why you would like to serve on the Board of Education.
Great. Thank you everybody for accommodating this. I just walked in the door. I still have like rain on my glasses. I teach at the University of Hartford in addition to doing my doctorate in educational leadership there. So we had our last class tonight, so I'm done for the semester and I'm switching that day next semester due to potentially Board of Education meetings. My undergraduate degree is in English education. I hold a teaching certification in 4 through 12 for English and literature. I have my master's in public administration from the University of Connecticut. So consider myself a lifelong learner and have been interested in education policy since about college. I initially obviously wanted to be an educator, but then got really interested in policy. I worked at Southern's Educational Opportunity Program, which is their bridge program, as the lead writing tutor there. And that was a very impactful experience for me, working with students from many different backgrounds who had both academic, behavioral, but also life challenges that led to, them having to complete this program to gain admission to Southern. So that was really what made me interested in education policy. And I've kind of been a little bit of a go-getter ever since. Ended up working at the State Department of Education because I cold emailed a bunch of people who work in education policy. And one of the few people who replied is now the commissioner, Russell Tucker, but she wasn't that when I was first working for her. So I worked there for about a year and a half, and I'm now with Comptroller Sean Scanlon doing communications, which doesn't seem very education related, but I feel like I'm using my teaching degree a lot to break down really complex economic and healthcare concepts in a way that is understandable and digestible for everyday people. Pertinent to Hartford, we also run the Hartford Flood Program out of the office. So I've been involved in that and the announcements and communications for that. I'm interested in serving on the board here because I've been in Hartford for about 5 years now. I am hoping to purchase in the future soon, and hope to raise my own family here one day. So I just figured I always try to contribute to the communities that I'm a part of. And because of my background, I thought this was an opportunity where I could lend some of the knowledge and passion that I have to help better our community and our schools.
Thank you so much. I will now open the floor up to committee members who would like to ask any questions or make any comments.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Absolutely. Go
Uh,
ahead.
uh, yeah, and good evening, Maddie, and nice to see you in person. You and I can have a telephone conversation, but it's nice to put a face to a name. And it's interesting to hear you talk about your interest in policy, because you're walking into one wonderful and challenging uh, educational system that could benefit from all manner of policy decisions, I would imagine. You know that statistically, the Hartford school system is somewhere near the bottom, if not the bottom, of all of our school systems in the state of Connecticut. So there's the good news is there's no place to go but up. But the bad news is it's kind of been there for quite some time, an unfortunate length of time. So would love to. I'm thrilled to have your eyes, your set of perspectives seated on the board, and joining with other board members to help our city create the best educational system we can for our children and our future. And I know you and I talked about, to some degree, the effect of the chef case, and what that has meant for Hartford and what that's going to mean for us moving forward, and whether and I hope these are things that you and your colleagues look at very seriously, the degree to which the chef decision and our entire educational system in Hartford might need tweaking, or might need more than tweaking, might need major change to help it improve. All of that said, you're going to be looking at all these fascinating issues with like no money. So you've got that additional challenge laid on top of everything. And we're going to try to do our part at City Council, but there's a city to run, and everything's got to work at the same time. So these have been the challenges that we face. I want to again, I don't have any particular questions for you, but I do want to just thank you for stepping forward. You probably know what you're getting into with late night meetings and angry parents, angry teachers, maybe angry council people at some point. I don't know, but good for you for diving in on it. So those are my comments. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Gale. Councilman Thomas, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I got a chance to speak with Miss Maddie on the phone, so I appreciate making the call. It was actually right before Thanksgiving, so I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, Maddie. And like Councilman Gale said, I just am thankful and appreciative of you being willing to step in and help out, and do a service to the city. It's like the heroes that are sometimes forgotten. I'm sorry, my little one's in the background. But people don't understand how much the Board of Ed does, and the work that they do, and the amount of time that they put in. And I appreciate with what Ms. Huckenhall brought to the board. I'm looking forward to see what you bring to the board as well. He wants to talk when I'm talking, so I'm sorry about that. But he's a son of a politician. What can I say? But I just really am thankful for you, and I'm happy that there's also some the board's getting much younger as well. So I'm appreciative of that. The board is young, and we spoke about you falling in love with Hartford. It was nice. It was a nice conversation we had, and so I just am thankful. I'm happy for you. If you need anything, call Councilman Gale. And just keep your head up, because it's hard, and it's probably going to be a tough few months, or tough year. So with the board, it's a lot right now. So looking forward to see what you bring to the table.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you all. So, I know that we had this meeting because a few of us couldn't attend the last meeting. So I guess let me offer you the opportunity, if you want to speak to any Hartford challenges specifically. I mean, you don't have to get into details, but as to why, you think you fit this role well. I know you gave us your background, and you have an extensive background, as you and I spoke about, in education, which I think is so important for this role. And very thankful that you're willing to serve and, fill out the remainder of this term. So thank you so much for that. But I'll give you the opportunity to speak to the public. If you were out there speaking to the entire city, to speak to any of the challenges, or how you plan to face those challenges. How do you feel you can work with the partners across the city and the state? And the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess my plan is to be listening and learning as much as I can. I don't describe myself as a lifelong learner just because it's a fun, popular thing to say. I understand that with a lot of the issues that are facing schools, whether it's attendance, standardized test scores, consolidation, that all of those are very heated topics where a lot of people have opinions. And I think that people need to always have the opportunity to be heard, and, meeting them where they are. So I want to listen and learn from as many people as I possibly can. And I pride myself in being really responsive in the role that I'm in. I'm very responsive now as an educator to my college students. And I want to be responsive to the constituents and the citizens of this city as well. So I do want to, encourage conversation with myself as we go forward and the whole board tackling some of these issues. But I recognize and I'm very, almost to a degree, self-conscious of the fact that I wasn't born and raised here. But as Councilman Thomas alluded to, over the past 5 years living here, I've really fallen in love with this city. And I tell all my friends about it, my family. Whenever somebody, questions why I live here, I have so many, great reasons from the people to the diversity to all, the small businesses that we have and just the amazing location of the city. So I don't plan on going anywhere, and I've learned a lot from people as I've lived here for the past 5 years, and I look forward to hopefully continuing to do that and to be, contributing in my own way along the way.
Thank you so much, Maddie, and thank you for your love of Hartford. As I, knowing you're a transplant to love Hartford that much, it's very important. And, obviously your love for, serving the students and the city of Hartford. So thank you so much. I'll now open the floor for, I believe we have an amendment that needs to be proposed to this resolution.
Yes, I would like to put forth, there just needs to be an amendment on the resolution. I believe it states December 20. It needs to, hold on one second. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Let me see. It needs to state the term, in the resolution as it's printed right now, the term expiring December 2029, that needs to be January 2028.
Is there a specific date on that? I don't have my cell phone on me. I think it was January 1st, 2020.
January 1st, 2028. That's when the term should be set to expire because she would be filling in for the rest of someone else, like the rest of the term.
Right, she's filling out an unexpired term. So
exactly.
I think that George had sent that to you, right? The amendment. Okay, so you are making a motion to amend the resolution to correct the expiration date to January 1st, 2028. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
I will second the amendment, but also note for the chair that Councilwoman Rosado has joined, and I don't know if
Sure.
before we take votes, if she would like to chat with our prospective appointee.
Welcome, Councilwoman Rosado. Thank you, Councilman Gale. You have the floor if you have any questions or comments for Maddie.
Hi, Madison. It's so nice to see you on the screen. Nope, I have no questions. I know she'll be a great asset and is going to do an amazing job on the Board of Ed. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank her for her time, as all this work is it's volunteer. So thanks you for your service. That would be all, Madam Chair.
Thank you for joining us, Councilwoman Rosado. Appreciate that.
Of course.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments on the amendment? The motion has been properly, presented and seconded. If there's no questions or comments, we'll now take the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do we have a motion on the floor to, go ahead, Councilman Thomas, if you'd like to present the motion.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to send this resolution back as amended back to council with a favorable recommendation.
And I will second that motion as well.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments on the motion?
No, I just wanted to make a comment, Councilwoman Rosado. Even though I am attending this meeting, I am not a voting member, for the record.
All right, very good. Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay, the motion has been made and properly seconded to move the item back to the full council with a favorable recommendation as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. The motion passes. Thank you all for attending tonight. That concludes our business. We have no further business, and thank you for accommodating us.
Tell our appointee here that this will be I assume this will be acted on in our meeting on December 8th.
Yes, it will be. We are going to put the report on the agenda tomorrow with the amended resolution. So yes, action will happen on December 8th. Thank you so much, Councilman Gale. All right, thank you everybody for attending and making this meeting work at this time. We really appreciate your time, and thank you again, Maddie.
Thank
Have a
you
great
all.
evening, everyone.
Thank you. Good
Yeah.
night.
Have a good night.
Good luck.